What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing today? I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy Halloween. I hope you had a good time tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope you were safe. And hopefully by now you're just winding down, going through your bag of goodies, or taxing your children. Whatever it is you do. I'll be taxing our kids here for the next week or two, and they won't even realize it because they literally just let the bag sit there. So I'm going to let you get set up here. We're going to watch the original, the immortal John Carpenter's classic Halloween. I'll yap here for a minute so you can get your copy queued up. I got a plain Jane Anchor Bay DVD. I don't even have the Blu-ray. I'm not the type of guy who keeps buying new formats for movies. I have the movie and I'm happy with it, you know. So I have my Blu-ray player set to 0000. And once I hit play, the first few notes of John Carpenter's awesome score is going to play. So let's yap for a minute. I'll let you get set up. And then I'll do a countdown to play. And hopefully none of the audio from the movie will be picked up on this microphone. I'm pretty sure it won't be. I have it down pretty low and it's far enough away. So, yeah, Halloween. It's a mandatory thing. It's a mandatory thing that you have to watch every year. And that's why I set this up for when I set it up. Because, you know, I think it was AVGN that said it. The best way to watch Halloween is once everything's winding down. You just put a bowl out front. You put the movie on. You crack the windows a little so you can hear the atmosphere outside. Perfect mood. Now, I watch this movie obviously every year, and as I sneak it in here and there in between. Growing up, I was actually more into part 2 and 3. Because the network TVs only played those ones for the longest time. I honestly saw 2 and 3 long before I saw the original. So I have a lot more nostalgia for the second and the third one, especially the third one. I think the third one captures the Halloween feel the best out of the original trilogy. I stop it there. Halloween 4 is alright, but anything after that is pretty much crap until Rob Zombies, which is still crap, but it's interesting crap. And then, of course, the pseudo-remake / sequel / reboot that we got 2 years ago, which was done excellently. So, all right, so you should be all set up by now, and if not, I hope you'd pause this so you can do that. I'm going to hit play here. Now, lucky for you, I'm recording this at 9:35 in the morning, just to break the illusion for you, on the day I'm recording this. A good week and a half away from Halloween. And it's still breakfast time, so I have a bagel here with some, this is going to sound gross, chopped up meatloaf with cheese on a bagel with a little bit of egg. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm a fat kid, so we'll see. So I am going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the iconic theme just started. And the Compass International Pictures release is up on the screen. I'm not going to do that the whole time. I'll just try to get you a ballpark estimate so we can kind of be in sync here. Mustafa Akkad. What a great dude. Kept Michael Myers alive for years. I love this. I'm getting goosebumps. Just staring at that fucking jack-o'-lantern and seeing it. I got to see this in the movie theater when I was still in Arizona about 6 or 7 years ago. And I got to say, if you get a chance to do that, it's a completely different experience. I'm not going to sit there and do the whole cliche, you're not in your safe environment. You're out with strangers watching a flick, and that adds to it, which it does. But just seeing it on a giant screen, there are things in the movie that you just, it's great. I recommend it. If you get a chance, if any of your theaters have any kind of showings, I recommend you doing it, whether, whenever it is. Drive-ins, I'm not sure. A lot of drive-ins do that as well, but yeah, I don't know. Screenplay by John Carpenter, Deborah Hill. That's awesome. That pumpkin's so iconic. I made a reproduction of that pumpkin. You're looking at it right now, as a matter of fact, on the screen. I didn't do the cuts and dings and dents. Some people go that far and they look amazing. I just drew out the template and carved it. I just drew it out and carved it. Oh, Tommy Wallace. The genius behind the mask. Erwin Yablans. I think he's here in Boston, or at least if he's still alive. He was a Boston film producer. Usually drive-in circuits and, cheesy exploitation shit. But I think he's actually here in Boston. All right, so here we go. Haddonfield, Illinois. Is there anyone out there that says Illinois? Avoid the noise. Halloween night, 1963. 63 was the year of my very first car. I had a 63 Dodge Dot, 225 slant 6. Look at that house. There's a house down the street from me that looks just like that, right? It used to be like this dirty green, like no one had painted it since like 1972. They recently just painted it like a magenta color. It looks nice, but it looks silly, but it's the exact same structure as this thing. Amazing. There's that one dude, I forget his name, I follow him on Instagram. I used to chat with him once in a while. He did a 1-to-1 reproduction of this house, and him and his now ex-wife. They used to live, I mean, he still lives in it, and he has parties all the time. Ooh, look at that, they're making out on the couch. But yeah, he has a reproduction of the actual house. Nut and bolt, nail and screw, accurate. And that's pretty cool. But the original house, most people know, it still exists. And I actually have pictures of it when it was kind of on farmland. I found it was in a documentary. These pictures of the original house, probably shortly after it was built. And there's nothing around it. It's like a field. It's pretty interesting. I'm not going to put them up on the screen here. You can easily find them with a Google search. So, but the house was moved to a different area, and I believe it's office space for medical stuff now. Chiropractor or something. I don't know. This is great. This long tracking shot is amazing. Now there are 2 cuts in it. There are 2 cuts, and if you follow anything, you know where they are. But they're done very well. Deborah's hands. What's funny about this is they were saying that everything you see in this shot is the only parts they cleaned up. Anything you don't see, the rest of the house is just a fucking dump. It's a piece of shit. I guess the house was slated to be chopped up and dropped down or something like that shortly after this film was made, or something like that. And someone bought it and moved it, and I don't know. But it's pretty amazing what you can do with little money, at least back then. Or little time. This guy, he wasn't even a 2-pump chump. I bet you he didn't even get his fucking pants off. I bet you she was touching his knee and he was just like, oh, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I'm embarrassed now. He's gonna tell his friends he fucking smashed. Smashed it, dude. Just before her brother fucking killed her. Oh, I'm not going to hold back on spoilers. It's a movie from 1978. If you've never seen it, you shouldn't be watching it with me here. You should be watching it all by yourself. Well, with your friends and family, but without this commentary track. One of those cuts I was talking about was right there. Very cleverly disguised. I'm not going to tell you where the other one is. You can figure it out. You can figure it out. Now, I'm hoping OBS will record throughout the whole thing. I've never done this before, so. He's looking at the bed. He's like, that's where my sister did the naughties. Dirty whore. You like being penetrated? Here you go. You filthy animal. I'm just kidding. I like fornication. See, I had already been spoiled to the fact that I knew this was a little kid when I first saw this movie. For the reasons I mentioned earlier. Having watched part 2 and 3 over and over and over again on network TV. Channel 38's Movie Loft. A lot of times on that. This even when I was younger, this struck me weird. He pulls off the mask. I mean, the kid's holding a butcher's knife that's covered in his sister's innards. And Mom's just like, I'm going to put my hands in my pocket and just stare. She's not even really looking at him. And the father's just kind of like a bobblehead here. He's just like, ooh. I know it's for the whole crane shot. It's supposed to be like what do they call that? A tableau or a diorama? I don't know. I like that station wagon, though. Is that a Ford? I bet you that's a Ford. It's like a 55 Ford. Smith's Grove, Illinois. I'm going to say that because I know it's going to fucking bug somebody. It's going to bug somebody. Alright, so my meatloaf and egg bagel sandwich. You know what? I've been doing really well. My last physical, my doctor's like, you know what, dude? You need to chill out with food and you need to start exercising. Enough with your fucking depression. Here's a little bit more medicine. Get out. Because you're fat, your blood sugar is crazy. But I've been doing well. He gave me some new medicine. I got to do this thing called Trulicity for a few months. I stab myself with it. It's like an EpiPen style thing. It's gross. It hurts. But, yeah, it's my fault. I'm a fucking glutton. But I haven't eaten anything like this in a while, so I've been doing really well, though. I'm walking more. Lost a bunch of weight. And you haven't even fucking noticed. Just kidding. Oh, wow, that's spiked. If you're watching this with headphones, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about... Well, wait a minute. You shouldn't have fucking headphones on. You should be watching a movie and having me in the background. You should be doing the opposite of what I'm doing. The negative. See, I have it playing in the background while I'm talking to you. So you should be listening to me in the background while watching the flick. The Smoking Nurse. That was the 70s. It was the 70s. Oh, shit. I don't have anywhere to put my plate here. Oh, where am I going to put my plate? I guess it's just going to stay on my lap here. The rabbit in red. I'm going to try not to go into quiet modes. The whole idea is to comment on it. There's really not much to talk about here. It's just, the beginning of Loomis's dialogue, his exposition, his crazy talk. The dude was almost a little crazier than fucking Michael Myers. At least Michael Myers was calm, chill. He just did his thing, He liked stabbing people. Everyone's got to have a hobby. Fucking Loomis, though. That dude was out of his friggin' mind. He should have been the one locked up. I shot him in the heart. I shot him 6 times. He's not human. That's a spoiler for anyone who wants to watch part 2 after this. Which I recommend you do. You know what I haven't done yet? I haven't watched this and then followed it up with the 2018 Halloween, which is supposedly the new sequel to it. I haven't done that yet. I've watched this in part 2 together before. In fact, there used to be a really cool edit of this in part 2 on the early days of YouTube. And it literally, they just got rid of the end credits of part 1 and the opening credits of part 2. And just cut it right where Loomis comes outside to see Michael Myers not there or whatever. And then, he cut out all this other stuff and the cops showing up and all that. Really, it was really well done. Really well done. And I mean, if you had 3 hours to sit and watch this kind of shit, then it was worth it. And it may still be out there somewhere if someone has the... Hold on. The evil is gone. He's like, are you alright? Ah, he's gone. The evil is gone. He's fucking punching it. And he just leaves her. He's like, I gotta... This right here. What an iconic shot. What an iconic shot. Haddonfield. And following with this music. This movie really is a master fucking piece. Not just horror gold. I mean, as a cinematic thing, as a piece of film. John Carpenter, he there's no one like him. His wide shots, his movement, the camera movement, and of course just this amazing score. I can't say enough good things about it. No one can. You know why? Because there's nothing bad to say. There are things that we can goof on, sure. I mean, the guy had what, $300,000 to work with, and then he had to add another $25,000 to give to Donald Pleasance. This right here, this house on the corner. If you go to wherever it was in California, I can't remember the town right now, San Bernardino or something like that. The family that owns that house now, don't quote me, I saw this like a year ago, so maybe they've moved, but they have fake pumpkins on their porch year round. And you're able to sit on the corner there, like Lori does here, and a little bit before getting picked up by her friend to go babysitting. But they have pumpkins there with a sign saying, take a picture, you know, the iconic scene of Laurie. Look at that Chevy in the background. That's an early Chevy. That's a second gen van. Not body style, but where the headlights and the grill are. The first gen is actually, of that van, is what the Mystery Machine was based off of. Everyone makes Mystery Machines out of all kinds of vans. You have to have a first gen Chevy van to make it accurate. Is that a gremlin in the background too? A common gear? A bug? I love cars. I love them cars. But I love vans more, so. And not because I'm the creep. Just because they're fucking cool. Tommy, man, he knows what's up. This kid knows what's up. Every neighborhood had that house. When I was really little, there was an empty house just up the street on this street called Greystone Road. It was like the second or third house on the left. And it was empty pretty much my whole childhood. And then around my early teen years, somebody bought it and fixed it up. But that was the local Satan house, where all kinds of bad things happened. I don't even think anything happened. I think someone just died and no one gave a shit about the house. You know, well, we did have a house like that here in Melrose, where the folks died and the kids lived in Florida and the house was just empty for years. That one was actually called Satan House. People would, that's iconic right there, his shoulder. The brilliance of John Carpenter, letting you know the threat's there. But he's not focusing on that. He's focusing on her. It's fantastic stuff. But going back to that other house, that's exactly what happened. Was the kids lived in Florida, and they just wanted nothing to do with it. And the house was as if someone had just left for the day. There was a chest full of old photographs. We would go through it and look at that. I mean, we weren't disrespectful to the place. There were some that did. There were some people that would spray paint and kick holes in the wall. But it was a really cool place just to go, sit down in the living room. We'd bring lanterns, electric lanterns. And we would bring our Budweiser or whatever we could get our hands on as a youth. Kids don't drink. It's not good for you. Oh, wait a minute. You should be watching this anyway. But, look, Lewis is in a fucking handicap spot. Remember earlier when I was saying he was a little crazier than Michael? He's not that kind of handicap. But, yeah, that house was cool. We used to go in there and just drink on the weekends. Until these older teenagers took it over and started shooting us with pellet rifles and stuff. My buddy got shot in the ear, and to this day that pellet is still in his ear. The doctor's just like, if I take it out, your ear's going to have a hole in it. So just let the skin grow over it and you'll be fine. Scenes like that are so much better on the big screen. I don't know. It was just, it added something to it. Look at him just staring at her. No, you take away the whole sister thing. Because that doesn't exist yet in this film's the universe anyway. You know, Michael saw her. And it's like, you know what? There you go. That's my Huckleberry for the night. You know, I mean, he was mindless. And I like him better that way when he has no motivation. But he did stalk. I mean, he saw Laurie and was like, you know what? There you go. It's going to be my girl tonight. I'm going to poke her with my knife. I'm going to stick my knife in her deep. I cannot not hear this without thinking of Rob Zombie afterwards. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. Or was it more human than human? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. You tell me in the comments. The boogeyman. The boogeyman. Alright, that part was in the boogeyman. Fucking kids. I remember as a kid being fucking sad for him. I knew what it felt like to get fucking bullied. Up until about junior high. And somehow I became bigger than everybody. And then by high school, everyone grew taller than me. You know what I mean? I got thick. Muscle-wise. I really honestly didn't get a belly until high school. I had my tonsils out. In high school, it was brutal. I wasn't able to eat solid food for like almost a month. It was bad. I lost a shit ton of weight. And then all of a sudden, I got a belly after that. And I had one ever since. But I come back from 6th grade elementary school to 7th grade, and all of a sudden everyone's shorter than me, and I'm like this bulky, thick. So I started working out. No one fucked with me after that. Unless, of course, they were looking to get a trophy. That happened a lot. That one dude that just wanted the status. But the good thing about growing up, where I grew up and when I grew up, you didn't necessarily have to win the fight. You just had to participate. You know, and if you lost, you lost. If you won, you won. No one really gave a shit. It was about your heart and your spirit, you know. No fucking weapons. A bunch of little bitches. He's on his way. See, this is... Alright, we were talking about earlier, I said this movie's a masterpiece, but there are some things you can question. This was, even as a kid, is something I question a lot. He's talking to the sheriff, or, you know... And then he goes and meets the sheriff, and the sheriff has no idea that... I don't know. Or maybe he was talking to someone for the sheriff. I can't remember exactly. And if I had been listening, I could probably quoted that a little bit more accurately. I love trains. There's something soothing about the sound of a train, unless the horn's going like that. See, Loomis knows Michael's deal, right? So he sees a truck. He sees the old the gurney there from the hospital. He had to have known there was a body nearby. Had to have. All he had to do is walk another fucking, 5-10 feet? It's cool watching, filming location videos now. Like, this looks completely different, but yet you can tell when you put the pictures side by side. I'd like to do a location kind of thing like that for a couple movies. I've always wanted to go to Saugus Ranch, or whatever the hell it's called in California, to where they filmed Friday the 13th Part 3. I mean, the main cabin's gone, but the barn is still there from what I understand. I would love to go there. Love to. So I want you to comment down below. Which of the three are you smashing? I'm going to stick with Lori. The other two are just fucking annoying. Fucking... You know what? The meatloaf sandwich thing isn't that bad. This was the brilliance of this movie also. John Carpenter, and him and his, at the time, girlfriend Deborah Hill, they wrote the story together. And he left all the girl dialogue to Deborah. And John's like, the fuck do I know about teenage girls, Aside from I used to chase them around when I was their age. But look at that Ford. I had a 78 Ford LTD. Same front end and everything. I mean, that could very well be. I mean, I know the movie came out in 78 and they filmed it in 77. But the new model years come out the year before, so. But either way. But yeah, Deborah Hill and John Carpenter teaming up to write it. I think that lent to the authenticity of this flick. I mean, chicks don't really talk like that now, but but allowing her, unlike other directors, Tarantino, who thinks he can write chick dialogue. Yeah, I don't know. I think Deborah Hill did a great job. God rest her soul. She died of cancer like in 2006 or something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but poor woman was deceased. I wouldn't get you in trouble, Linda. I know, Linda's cute. I've always thought PJ Souls was a cutie. And babysitting the Doyles. And there you go. More of that iconic score. You know, everyone likes the and I do too. But it's this that I really enjoy. This is the atmosphere of the flick. Absolutely love it. Do, 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 do. Num num. It's funny, they did a good job making this look like the Midwest, but the structures of the house are so West Coast. They did a great job with what they got. There we go. What's up, buddy? He was chilling at the bush. He's like, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. And right here, this scene alone shows everything you need to know about these characters. Why Laurie survives. And again, it's another cliche thing to say, but she's the only one out of the three chicks who are paying attention to what's going on around her. She's not preoccupied by a bunch of bullshit. And because she's paying attention, she proves to be victorious later on. Yeah, technically, it could have been Ben Tramer. We find out Ben Tramer has a propensity for that same kind of costume. Different outfit, but same mask. Blonde hair, though. Fuck you, cunt. Laurie's hot. We had, I mentioned many times before, my dad was a minister. And we had a family that came to our church, and, I was friends with their kids, obviously, because we were around the same age. But the mother looked like Jamie Lee. Had that same kind of, I don't know what you call it. Same look, same vibe to her. I was just saying Laurie was paying attention, right? 3, 2. Oh, I'm going to bump into this teenage girl because I'm the sheriff. Look at my badge. He's still around, I think. I'd love to see him come back in a flick. It'd be great to see him in the Halloween Kills and Halloween's Over, whatever the hell those 2 sequels to the 2018 follow-up flick. It'd be nice to see him. I think it's already been confirmed some other alumni are going to come back. I'm pretty sure they said that. Whom, I don't know. Maybe Nurse Chambers? No, she didn't get killed in part 2, did she? We got Maverick. So what time is it there? 2:30? 3 o'clock at the latest? The kids trick-or-treating already? Get the fuck out of here. Not my world, Jack. 6 at the earliest. 7 o'clock peak time. At least where I grew up. Got to give people time to get home from work. Get that bowl of candy ready to go. Can't get candy if they're not home. It's October in the Midwest. The fuck is you doing with your window open? You're gonna freeze your nipples. Great shot. Love that shot. It's like, is she imagining him? Is he really there or not? I'm going to go with that she's imagined him there. She saw him earlier, and now she's going to see him around every corner. I'm going with that he's not really there. He probably is, according to the script. But I'm going to say that she just saw the sheets flapping around and just kind of saw him in her head. It's your mom. The scariest thing in this whole flick is in this shot. Can you guess what it is? I'm going to give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2. It's that fucking Raggedy Ann doll. I hate those. Even as a kid, I was terrified of those. And if you follow the Annabelle series, which I don't, the Annabelle, the original one, was actually a Raggedy Ann doll. Well, still is. Still is. I say like it doesn't exist anymore. Still in the Ed Lorraine Warren's Museum of Haunted Items, or whatever the fuck it's called. The priest comes weekly to bless everything. I believe in the supernatural. I believe in ghosts. I also believe there are a lot of kooks out there. And Ed and Lorraine Warren, I love I do love their history. I do. And I enjoy watching their interviews and all that stuff and reading about their cases, but they were cuckoo. They made a living off of it, so good for them. This music right here. That's it. That's Halloween to me. I hear that and I get goosebumps. So yeah, this house right here, they have fake pumpkins on the porch with a sign saying, go ahead and take a pumpkin, sit down and get a picture. Just like Lori is right now. That's pretty cool. It's not often somebody does that. I mean, you actually have to go onto their property, to go onto their porch to get the pumpkin. And they have that much faith and trust. And I find a lot of times that like horror fans and metal fans, they're pretty respectful. If they see something like that, they're like, we appreciate that you do this for us. We're going to do it proper. And we're not going to fuck it up for anyone else. Look at that Monte Carlo. I had a buddy named Matt that had that exact car. Oh my God. What's that, a 75? I don't remember which one had the square headlights. Which one started the square headlights, because they were around until then. And this is, that's the beginning of before the G bodies. What you remember from the 80s. It's the same body shape, just big. Big. This I never understood either. Why the fuck does he want to go to the graveyard? I mean, I understand exposition and stuff for us, but think of it in Loomis's world. I mean, I guess because he's cuckoo. Is Mike really going to go visit his sister? Because again, in this universe, he just killed her just because whatever. I don't think he'd be sentimental. Funny, in the remake, I was watching Sid Haig talk about he played the caretaker in that one. He's like, Rob called me up, said, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to come do it? And it was pure magic. I mean, he was Hollywood to the max. Nice guy. I met him. I almost went to supper with him and his buddies. That's a story for another time. But I met him in 2004 on Halloween at a convention. And at the time, they had a forum. It was a Sid Haig forum. And there weren't that many people in there. So it was like a nice, tight-knit group of friends, and online friends. And when I met him at the convention, him and Bill Mosley, I told him, I'm a member of the forums, I'm this person. And like, oh my God, yeah, all right, And Sid's like, well, we're all going to such and such restaurant afterwards. It's on me. You and your family want to come with us. He came home. Oh, I just totally fucking talked over the most iconic line in the whole movie. He came home. I love that line. It gives me goosebumps. But I was like, yeah, I'd love to, but it's Halloween. I got to take my kids out. So I could have had lunch with the dude. He was a good guy. As a matter of fact, I had him sign my picture. I did the whole, here's $20, sign this picture. I had him sign, you could suck a fart from my asshole. Because I thought that was something that Captain Spaulding would say, And he looked at me, Sid Haig looked at me, he goes, you really want me to sign that? Okay. Before the Devil Rejects came out, I was pressing them for information. They just kept telling me we can't say nothing, but it's fucking brutal. It's brutal, and they weren't lying. Get rid of it. It's not like the car doesn't stink like a fucking joint now. Okay, so going back to why. Just weird decisions. What hardware store around supper time is going to be closed? I mean, I know it's a small town, but the alarm's going off now. Michael's had his mask for at least 12 hours now. I know it's nitpicking, but you gotta mention these things. Because I did start out by saying this movie's a fucking masterpiece. And it is. Oh, it is. It always bugged me how he said that, too. Well, they only took some Halloween mask, rope, and a knife. Some Halloween mask. I know it makes sense. It just sounds weird coming out of that guy's face. There he is. There's the car in the background. Brilliant. This is fucking brilliant right here. This is brilliance, guys. You're watching brilliance. The station wagon's behind Loomis, and he's literally looking the wrong way here. Turn, car passes him. That's how you build suspense. The two true masters of suspense. On celluloid, anyway. Film. Hitchcock, Carpenter. There you go. That's my list. Absolutely love it. Oh man, this fucking movie. It never gets old. It never gets old. I don't think it ever will either. I'm talking about boys. Ben Kramer. I want Ben Kramer in the 2018 sequels. I'm not calling it Halloween. I call it Halloween 2018. It kind of bugs me that I have to say that. I mean, there are 3 movies called Halloween. This one, Rob Zombies, and the 2018 movie. Let's make the whole series even more confusing for people in the future. Why the fuck not? No, seriously though, can you imagine, all of a sudden it's night, can you imagine 20, 30 years from now, someone discovering this series, so they watch it chronologically as the movies came out? Can you imagine how confused they would be? Now, okay, so far, how far are we into this? I can't see the timer. I'm going to give it like 35 minutes, maybe 36 minutes. Nothing's really happened. But you're entertained as fuck. Nothing's happened. Michael killed his sister. He's been, kind of just stalking. Lurking in the shadows. He hasn't done anything. But you're still watching. Great shot right there. Always, never center a frame. Always to the side. This is a rare occurrence when you can actually see the whole torso. But right now, he's playing chess. Michael Myers is fucking playing chess. He may be random, but he's calculating at the same time. He's planning his attack. Okay, this chick's gotta go. Of course, that hot chick Laurie's gotta go. And it just so happens that PJ Souls and her boyfriend show up in that awesome van. I love that house. The copy of that house you're seeing in the picture from the background here. It's papercraft. I got that from a website like Dimension. I don't know. Just search Haunted House Papercraft or Haunted Mansion Papercraft because that's his biggest thing. He does a lot of Disney stuff. But you can find this one. It's called something 78. Maybe it's just called Halloween 78. I don't know. But yeah, you see how the house is there? That's pretty much what the rest of the house looked like in the beginning, except for what you got to see. And I think they did that after the fact. Oh, they would had to have. It's still warm. Got hungry. Michael Myers likes dog. This isn't a man. Easy there. Easy, Loomis. Hold your water, Augie. Anyone can tell me what that movie's... What that line's from, what movie. I'll give you a cookie. Just messaging my buddy Mike of Irmo Custom Models. He's trying to get a hold of me, and I'm like, dude, I'm recording a commentary track right now. So, Mike, if you watch this, you just gave me a thumbs up on WhatsApp. Oh, my goodness. Get your gun out, sir. Stupid gutter. I love the look on the sheriff's face. I mean, he just has this look like, are you fucking for real? Are you serious? He is scared. He's shook. 15 years ago, I was told there was nothing left. Love this speech. I'm going to shut up through it. Right and wrong. Good and evil. 6-year-old boy. The blank, pale, motionless, the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. I'm getting choked up just listening to this. 8 years trying to reach him, and another 7 trying to keep him locked up. What was living behind those eyes was simply evil. Brilliance. Brilliance. You know what? I like that. I like that point of view. Tell your deputies to keep their eyes open and their mouths shut, or people will see him on every corner. And he actually, a lot of people scarf at that. But if you watch part 2, Ben Tramer, poor old Ben Tramer, that's one of the lunatic things that Loomis was right about. Remember these days having to hide your comics? I found a stash of old EC comics when I was a kid at a yard sale. This old guy had them. And I remember I brought them home. My family, they knew what they were. My dad knew what they were. And he wasn't too pleased. My dad was cool. I've told you he's a minister. He was actually pretty cool. Like, I remember when I brought Slayer Hell Awaits home. And he was looking at the album cover and reading the lyrics. And he just looked at me and said, so this is what you want to listen to, huh? I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right. So he legitimately sat down with me on the edge of my bed and he talked to me, as far as what, I love this German Shepherd, what the Bible says about that sort of thing. And instead of telling me I can't have it in his house or that I'm going to be a horrible person for listening to Slayer, he would say, look, I can give you the tools, so you got to build the foundation yourself. So I will give you what you need to make your decision. And whatever decision you make is you have to reap whatever comes to it from it. He was an awesome man that way. And he wasn't hardcore. He wasn't, you can't listen to Slayer, not in my house, it's ungodly. Which, I mean, there's lyrics in it like, kill the preacher's only son, watch the infant die. Bodily dismemberment, drink the purest blood. Blah. And, I wasn't really into the lyrics. I was just more into the aggression of the music. I was an angry white kid in the fucking suburbs, all right? I didn't punch holes in walls and shit like that. I wasn't a Kevin or a Kyle. There we go, the boogeyman. There he is. Beautiful shot. Just a silhouette of the shape. It looks a little small because that's Deborah Hill. But oh man. She's like, shut the fuck up, kid. Oh no, I'm almost out of coffee. I can't pause all this. I can't pause this and make it sync better. It's alright. We're getting to the nitty gritty. But we're still in the setup. We're still all in setup. Now this part here with the pot, the planter, did he do that on purpose to get our attention, or was it like a, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that? I'm going to say he did it on purpose. Oh, he didn't do it yet. Who does this? Who gets naked in the kitchen while babysitting? This chick does. She's got a nice bum bum. I like that black spot. Here we go. I mean, it looks like he bumped it by accident and was like, fuck! But I'm going to say he did it on purpose. Now, Michael's about that theatrics. Great shot right there. Fucking dog. Dog's like, what's up, dude? Mike's like, I just want to pet him. Let me pet his neck. People get upset when the dog dies in movies. It depends on the movie, the dog, and how the dog dies. I think this is fine. I mean, I'm sad for the dog. I love the dog. I love German Shepherds. That's all I've ever dealt with. But it shows what he is. RKO pictures. God, man, I grew up watching and listening to the old RKO radio Winchester pictures. You remember when firearms, when firearm companies made movies? But going back to the dogs dying in movies, I know the Andes from Boots to Reboots. Hopefully you guys watch him. He's awesome. Just search Boots to Reboots. The Maniacal Cinephile. Fantastic channel. He watches remakes and determines whether or not the DVD or Blu-ray needs to be stomped on. And he's funny, and he's got 3 personalities. His normal Andy, his evil Andy, and his child Andy. His inner child. And the inner child's always crying about the dogs dying. That's the only reason I'm bringing him up. But look at she's so cute. Lori. Fucking cute as shit. Love it. After this, you need to go watch Trading Places. Every dude watching right now knows exactly why I said that. I was at my friend Jeff's father's place with him. His parents were divorced and his father lived up in New Hampshire. So I would spend some time up there with him. You know, they hang out. It was a fun place. And we were watching Trading Places. We were kids, you know, we're probably preteens, maybe like 13, 14. And his father was drinking, getting all loaded up, right? And he went to go to the bathroom to make a smash. And he's like, do not let me miss Jamie Lee Curtis's tits. And sure as hell, we're yelling, she's about to lift her shirt up. And he come running out with his fucking pants down. Never even pulled them back up. I mean, this guy was loaded. We were making his drinks for him, too. He come running in the living room with his shit just swinging in the breeze. God damn it. I missed it, he says. He goes, you guys have to fucking walk home now. There he is. Always in blue light. You know, it's funny. It all became cliches after this. But this was the blue black light, backlight. All that was new. That's all Dean Cundy right there. Another brilliant craftsman in the film industry. I hope I got his name right. Dude went on to do stuff like, you know, Back to the Future. You know, cool stuff. amazing cinematographer. Imagine that a lot of the folks behind this film went on to do a lot of amazing stuff and became big players in the industry, as they say. I think actually the documentary on this this DVD said the very words. They are all now big players in the industry. I'm glad this chick gets it first. I don't like her. Clorox. Most awkward way to get out of any situation. Makes no sense. Okay. Okay. There's really not much to talk about here. You got a chick stuck in a window. And she's going to close the door. Why are you closing the door so gently? She grew up to be really cute, too. I've seen her in a couple of, behind-the-scene documentaries or whatever. Anniversary filming documentaries on the... Nice bum, where you from? But, she grew up to be really cute. About my age. Let's see, 78. How old was I in 78? I was born in 75, so you can do the math. So, no, that chick's a little bit older than I would be. Maybe by a couple of years. That's probably, what, 10, 12? Somewhere between there. Jolly Time popcorn. Oh, my God. You know, I was making some rice last night. And I popped the lid down on the pan. I said, you know what that sound reminds me of? Popcorn. My girlfriend's looking at me like, what? She must have had an air popper her whole life. My dad always made it in the pan with the oil. Always. Zero exception. Bam! Brilliant. Right here. Right here. Oh, see, you don't notice the little things like that. Hopefully you saw what I saw. She's in Halloween 3. I don't know if you know that. She plays the wife of Tom Atkins. Bolt your windows. Because it's fucking awesome, that's why. My girlfriend does that too. She'll come home from work and I'll have all the lights off. Yeah, I'll be doing whatever I'm doing, whether it's, on YouTube or watching a flick or something. Why do you have the lights off? Because it's calming. It's calming. One of the kids just popped out of the bedroom. They're doing homeschooling right now. Remote learning. Hopefully next week they'll be going back. But I'm going to try to flag her down and get me a soda. Get flag me down. There he is. I'm waving my hands up in the air like I just don't care. I'm trying to get her attention. Ha! She just got my sign language. You shut your face. Nothing naughty's happening on the TV. Not yet. They're just carving a jack-o'-lantern. Now you can go. Go back to your learning hole.
I have been told for PE that I must dance.
All right, then dance in your bedroom. You see what I got to put up with here? All right. I normally don't even have a soda this early. It's kind of warm in here. Shouldn't be this warm in October. Don't give me that global warming shit. I live in New England. 70 degrees one day and 2 inches of snow the next day. That happened to me. The day I was flying out to Arizona when I first was setting up to move out there. The day before was 70 degrees and sunny. I woke up to 2 inches of snow on the ground. Here we go. The night's about to begin. You know, some people think this is kind of a slow burn to where it's boring. And to you, I say, shut your face. It is a slow burn. You know, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. People hear about it growing up and all that stuff. And then they finally watch it and they're just like, did I just watch an edited version of that movie? Really, a lot happens in this movie. It's all atmospheric, background, goofiness. It's all set up. But it's brilliance. It's beautiful. Now, you take a thing like in the original Friday the 13th where Alice makes a cup of instant coffee. I mean, they show the entire process. That's brilliant. Not as brilliant. It's still good for taking you off guard. Don't get me wrong. So why is she brushing her hair now? She was already at the car. She had to brush her hair again? She wasn't going to brush it the first time? Here we go. Here we go. Get that bitch, Mikey! Get her! The fact that they reuse the same kind of twice, that always bugged me too as a kid. But if they fixed it, it would piss me off. I like that. He's just staring at her. Just choking her out. He's tired of her not dying. He's just like, fuck it. I mean, if you watch that without sound, that's pretty brutal. I mean, he's choking her. And it just lingers on her. And then even he gets sick and tired of her not dying. Oh, man. What a great movie. Not just Halloween, but Thing from Outer Space. Howard Hawks. Little prick. Look at a rotary phone in the background. I keep threatening the girls that I'm going to buy one. I've had them watch video of people try to use them, and they couldn't figure it out either at first. But then, I mean, they figured it out. But they come up for sale all the time for like $10. Right here, I love this shot. That right there. That's more horrifying than any fucking knife stabbing, axe wielding, anything. Ugh. Brilliance. The kid's freaking out. Well, Tommy, say he just went inside with your friend's corpse. He was carrying her. Give her information. Don't just freak out and say, I saw him, I saw him. Once he's just like, I believe you, bro. I believe you. I'm gonna grow up to be hot. So you better mind your P's and Q's, kid. Because we're gonna be doing convention circuits for the rest of our fucking lives because of this fucking movie. That's great. Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving, you know? Yeah, alright. My buddy Mike just said, oh, cool. This is awesome. This is me. What Loomis does here. Scaring people is so fun. I worked in haunted attractions for years. because I loved it. I loved it. If I didn't have somebody crying or wet themselves by the end of the night, I considered the night a failure. I loved it when they cowered in a fucking ball on the floor. I mean, I wouldn't take it too far, but once I got there, instant Woodrow. Instant. And you know what? You can see in Loomis's face after he scares those little kids. There was a little bit of delight there. He enjoyed it probably a little more than he probably should have. But like Sheriff Brackett said, it's Halloween. I guess everyone deserves one good scare. More lunatic dialogue. You can help me to stop it. That's another iconic line. And even he's just like more fancy talk. Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it or help me to stop it. So, all right, so what you're trying to say is that this town is lined up for a slaughter? Simone? Damn you for letting them out, Loomis. How dare you? It's chilly. There's the van. Man, the 70s. Fuck yeah. It's a second generation Ford. That's what they call a mid Ford. I used to belong to a forum years ago called Vannin.com with no G. And another one, it was an Econoline only group. Because that's what I was into. I was into I'm sorry, that's a late Ford. That's a late Ford. My mistake. Mid Fords are the ones that look like pugs. I had two of those in my time. Absolutely loved them. I love vans. They're so great. Yeah, don't close the door or anything, you nitwit. Do you guys ever leave your pumpkins out with candles on the porch? I don't know. I don't know if anyone really does that anymore. So dangerous. So dangerous. Everyone's got the electric candles and stuff now. That's what I use. I don't really use real candles and pumpkins anymore. Look at all that beautiful blue backdrop lighting. Amazing. Here's more brilliance right here coming up. Looks like, yeah, peep show time. All you see is a shoulder and a collar. Look at that boring ass pumpkin. How cool would it be, though, if that was the pumpkin in the opening credits? God damn it. I can't remember if it was this one or Rob Zombie's Halloween where they're like, we couldn't find pumpkins. So they had to substitute a different gourd. I could be way off on that. I could be completely, like, talking out of my butthole right now. Not knowing what the hell I'm talking about. But because that pumpkin just kind of looked funny to me. Maybe it was a dumb look on its face. The pumpkin had a stupid look on its face and I want to slap it. Slap it right on its pumpkin ass. Ooh, how do you like that, pumpkin? Hey, Lori. Look at this fucking kid's glasses. Read somewhere that Dennis Quaid was supposed to be in this. Right there. He was supposed to be Bob. I guess PJ Souls and him were seeing each other at the time. Maybe they were married. I don't know. They had some kind of a romantic connection, but he couldn't do it because he was doing something else. I don't know. That's wonderful. Man, the shot of that house with the blue light. I'm not going to shut up about the blue light, so that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Oh, clothes on the floor with beer cans. That pumpkin right there should have been the one on the cover. Or the intro. The opening credits. I can't speaky. Me no speaky. Why is he covering up his chest? I never got that either. Huh. Remember those days where you just take the phone right off the hook? That was before call waiting. How many of you kids remember call waiting? There you go, Bob. Get you some. Get you some of that PJ Soul. Although I will admit, if I was just listening to this, 13, 14 years old, there you go. Unlike the kid in the beginning who was a half a pump chump, Bob was like a 3.5 pump chump. And she's satisfied. She's just like totally satisfied. The 70s. When you didn't have to care about the women's needs. It all started when we let them wear shoes. I'm going to catch hell for that, ain't I? That's going to be a clip people are going to be talking about. The Atari Creep's a sexist pig. Nah, I believe in equality. Shut the fuck up. I have no idea what that noise is outside. That's weird. So I hope you can't hear it. It sounds like the back of a trailer lift. Like an 18-wheeler. Bring the pallet jack out. Go get a beer, Bob. This is great. Those eggs in there sideways. That always bugged me. Either take the eggs out and put them in the egg tray, or what the fuck? Don't put them in sideways. And the opening of the flap better be facing you, because if I pick up those eggs and it opens up and the eggs fall out, I'm not cleaning it up. Fuck you for putting the eggs in there like that. More brilliance coming up right here. It's like, why the fuck is this door open? Why? Guess I better close it. Alright, here we go. Fuck yeah. I like how you can hear him breathing through the mask. You don't really see the mask. I mean, he's wearing a mask. You show it. I'm going to keep it in the proper lighting. It's not about the kill. It's not about what's going on the screen. It's about the madness. It's about the lack of motivation or the motivation, however you want to say it. It's this right here. That's what it's about. That's why this movie isn't gory and all that crap. You see extreme little blood. Here comes some more brilliance. You don't get any more iconic than that right there. Even people who've never seen this movie understand what that's all about. And I like how he went so far as to put Bob's glasses on. So he's not as mindless as a lot of people like to say. I mean, he doesn't really have any true motivation aside from he just wants to knock off these kids. Mostly chicks. But he's not mindless. That's as calculating as you get. Picking one chick, stalking her through the day, and then butchering her and her friends, and doing shit like this. He's fucking with her. He's making the situation uncomfortable while getting a nice view. PJ plays this perfectly. Right there. Right there. And then it just turns into regular 70s chick dialogue, but I like how they set this up earlier. You know, it wasn't foreshadowing, but I mean it was, but you know what I mean. It wasn't obvious. Ain't nothing like seeing a chick get choked out with her titties in the air. Am I the only one this turns on? Should I get committed? Look at her. More brilliance right here. Right here. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I just want to stab you in the eye. Alright, I'll stop doing that. Oh, my guts are dropping. My guts are dropping. I think that meatloaf bagel sandwich wants out. My tum-tum didn't like it. Just joking. There was a promo picture for the 2018 Halloween before it came out of Jamie Lee wearing pretty much that same outfit, but in today, you know, standing on the porch of the Myers place. It's pretty neat. Pretty neato. In fact, if I were to ever get Jamie Lee Curtis's autograph, I would probably want it in that picture. He's about to get his comeuppance. The fucking thing was right behind him, like 40 feet away. Look at him. He smiles. Why is he smiling? I mean, I know he's happy that he found the car and he's probably close enough to Michael to get him, but fucking dude smiled. I think it was one of those, fuck you, I was right, eat a dick. And they had to show the decal on the door just to drive it home. That's the car. The rest of this movie is just pure brilliance. There is nothing bad in this movie from here on out. Especially the way Jamie Lee Curtis walks. I'm falling in love. Who the fuck hides keys in a knitting bag? I don't recall her bringing that with her, right? That door on the inside of the house always bugged me too. It looked like a closet door. I know it's probably not. I'm sure it's the actual front door of the house. Listen to the music here. Music here is perfect. The slow walk to the house. The POV shots mixed in with a little bit of here she is. But just something about that door always reminded me of like they copped out and just did it in front of a closet. It doesn't have the feel of a front door to me on the inside. But if you look out on the outside, it's just plain and boring. So, and you can see where the peephole is. Peep, not pee. Doors don't urinate. At least, not to my recollection anyway. This is great. Love this. Because you know what's coming. You know. You know what's in that house. For the most part, anyway. Jamie doesn't. She's just like, you know what? I'm tired of these two whores. I'm over here always doing the goody-goody thing, and I get fucked every time because of it. Meanwhile, you guys are getting loaded, laid. The pumpkin's getting squat. It's not the same pumpkin. That always bugged me. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Now, this right here, you could say that every Friday the 13th, up until about part 6, copied. The final girl showdown starts right here. It's nice and calm. It's bringing you to everything. I actually love how they do this. They do the. It's very calm. Nothing's going on here. She's walking around. That's it. You're not even all that tense. You're just kind of like, oh my God, we know something's coming. It's a nice lull before the storm. And then it's nothing but excitement from here on out. Brilliance. And any slasher in the 80s that's worth any weight in gold has this lull. Perfect lull. The exploratory final girl. She's starting to realize there's something amiss here. What the fuck is going on? Quaker Oats. I wonder if the Quaker company knew that was in there. I mean, I doubt you have sponsors. You have sponsors for a $300,000 movie that was supposed to only play in drive-ins for a few weeks. I mean, the guy paid for an exploitation film and he got this. Shh. Amazing. You'll be sorry. Music. Cue. This is the true beginning right here. The beginning of the end. Oh, the slow burn. Love it. This is like foreplay for my sixth sense of entertainment. Just take your time. Get me there. Get me there right. Alright, I'll stop. No, I won't. It's just dark enough. Gives you that whole feel of the what she can see versus what she can't see. I'm just going to be quiet here for a few minutes. I'm not going to say anything. Just shh. She can't believe what she's seeing. That's a little overkill, Mikey, but guy should have been in the circus. He's a true showman. True showman. That's right, Jamie. Oh, I love it. I mean, this makes no sense whatsoever. The body just falls at the right time. A door opens on its own to show PJ Soul's corpse. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. The brilliance of this movie allow you to suspend disbelief. This right here. This right here is worth the price of admission. Here it comes. Your eyes are slowly getting used to the dark. Just in time for him to come into view. Gorgeous. Just, I get goosebumps every time I think of it. Goosebumps. And that Nick Castle walk. It's you know, we talked about clowns here and there. It's actually That's what it reminds me of. And ironically, one of the masks they chose to be Mike when they were going through pre-production was an Emmett Kelly mask, which was the sad clown. The one with the scruff all over his face. The big fucking nose. Now, who has a lock on their kitchen door? Who does that? See, he set this up, man. He's not uncalculating at all. Here he comes. Look at him. That's fucking terrifying. For real. And he's right fucking there. This scene right here. These few minutes right here. This is the peak of suspense in cinema. Except for the trope of the chick falling down. He's coming. Although I never understood why none of these people call the cops. For anything, there's a chick outside screaming, we need her to shut up so we can go to bed. Some lunatic chick outside. And it's just like, no, fuck it. We're going to ignore her. But right here, this is the peak of true cinematic suspense. Keys. Keys. Here he comes. He's coming to get you. The boogeyman's coming. Tommy, stay asleep, buddy. Tommy. I know, I've seen this movie 2 bajillion times. I'm still all angst up right now. He's just kind of like, oh, okay, all right. And that's what would happen. He would just be like, oh, all right. Ugh. That door right there. I got to do that with my kids too. Especially the younger one, Lily. Cut the phone lines. It's not mindless. Oh no. You know, and also true, you know, people used to think these movies were like anti-chick. And I guess in a way it kind of is. I mean, chicks are the main victims of everything. He pops it right out. I have to make that noise every time he pulls that out. But she was resourceful. She was the Girl Scout, you know? She fought. You know, of course, again, she does the stupid things. Dropping a knife and all that, but Jamie Lee didn't. She wasn't going down. She wasn't going down without a fight. Strong female lead. Except when she does that. You never drop the weapon. And people sit there and be like, why the fuck would she sit there? You know what? In all honesty, after that was a lot of physical exertion from her. Not to mention emotional. You know, she's terrified. She's wiped out. She just got drained. I think that's realistic. Now, see, this is where you get all your guys, though. Sheriff should have been on that radio. Come to this, you know, the 400th block of whatever. Form the perimeter. You know, not a lot is said about that scene, too. Him just walking around, waiting for the sign of where Michael Lee. He knows the sign's coming. He knows somebody's going to be This lull. This lull's awesome. Are you sure? You can't kill the boogeyman. He's like, bitch, see? Ugh. Doo-doo. Doo. Doo-doo. Brilliance. Make enough noise there, lady. That sway. Mike's got swagger, dude. He's got swagger. He's got a bloodthirst, but he's got swagger. He wasn't fooled. He knows nobody went out that window or onto that balcony. See, right here, he's just fucking with her. He can go through that, and he knows it. She knows it too. He's just like, I'm gonna terrify you before you go. It's just gonna make it sweeter. Hopefully, by the end of this, no one thinks I'm a true serial killer. It's fantasy. I like fantasy violence. I don't like the real thing. If this was a real thing that happened, I wouldn't enjoy it. Fuck you. Coming to get you. Look at her. She's resourceful. It's like fucking the MacGyver. The MacGyver of Final Girls. It's funny. Tommy Lee Wallace, he's the guy who did the mask and the production, like the set designs and stuff like that. He had to wear the mask in this scene. I'm not telling you for trivia reasons. I'm going to get to a point here. Because he knew exactly where the breakaway stuff was. So they just figured just put him in the suit, let him break the shit. Excuse me. But when he looks in, and if you know what Tommy Lee Wallace looks like, you can totally tell that's him behind the mask. Because, the mask doesn't fit everyone the same way. But you could totally tell it was him. Once you've seen what his face looks like. Oh, man. Oh, I'm getting shivers. Is he coming back? Again, this is all before those tropes. Oh, don't throw the knife away, you fucking idiot. I have to say that every time. Not only does she throw it away, but it's like within his reach. She's like, I killed him again. And Tommy's like, bitch, I don't think so. This is great. Call the police. Why don't you go with them? Sorry. I'm supposed to be commenting. Not commenting. I mean, again, physical exertion. She's probably exhausted. But I'm telling you this right now. Besides this right here being more brilliance. Right there. Straight. Turn your head. Beautiful. Not in frame. He's in the blurry part of the frame. But you see what's going on. This is a great way to climax a film. Right here. Kid screaming. A little smirk on his face. I think he's in there. He looks around. Sees if anyone sees him. And he's going in. A little swagger. Imagine that's just some dude. Just some dude that they knew. It's like, hey, you want to put the mask on? I mean, he didn't play Michael throughout the whole film, but... Right here, it's another dude. So they could take the mask off. And I guess the ad said we want someone with an angelic face. That's not angelic to me. Look how thin that mask is. Alright, right here. Look at the way Michael stares at him. He's like, you fuck. Boom. I always love that cartoon noise. Him hitting the ground. And he's still Still shooting. Brilliant line right here. Okay, so there's controversy there. Some people think that she's asking. She's making a statement. That was the boogeyman. He's like, as a matter of fact, it was. Oh, I'm getting choked up. Choked up. This is... you don't get more brilliant than this. And he's not surprised. The famous two-take. He played it two ways. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened, and I knew this would happen. And she's not even looking, and she knows. She's not looking, and she can see it in the doc's face. This ain't over. But that's where they cut the film. That's where it's actually, look at him. He's just like, fuck. Now we're going to look at all the places. Now I'm basically quoting John Carpenter in his commentary. Where we've been throughout the film. It's quiet now. But you can still hear the shape. Because he's everywhere. Dude's everywhere. He's a force of fucking nature. He's not a man. Loomis was right, as lunatic as he was. He's a force of fucking nature. He's the incarnation of evil, personified. And that's it. Oh, man. Never gets old. Never, ever, ever, ever never gets old. So hopefully, if you're following along, the credits are now rolling. Loomis, his name is about to disappear at the top of the screen. And that's it. Halloween 1978. Amazing flick. Amazing flick. And I'm glad you came and joined me to watch it. I really am. I hope this was something fun. The Shape. I love that they didn't call him Michael Myers. They call him The Shape. Even though we knew his name. But I'm glad you came by and watched it with me. Like I said earlier, I hope everyone had an amazing, safe, and fun Halloween. And if this is something that you enjoyed, let me know. You hear my voice is all broken up? I get like that with these flicks. It's especially when I'm talking with someone and I love film. I wanted to get into film growing up. I just never pursued it. Never really had an outlet for it, but I really wanted to get into film production. And I never really did, so oh well, what are you going to do? So, yeah, I hope this was fun. And if it's something that you'd like to do again in the future, it doesn't have to be a horror flick. Maybe we can continue doing stuff like this. But for now, I'm just, it's Halloween. I figure, what the hell? Watch the original Halloween together. So, guys, thank you always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments if this was fun, something that you'd like to do again and again. Maybe we'll do this periodically every couple months. Maybe specific holidays. Maybe we'll do one for Christmas as well. I don't know. But that's it. Movie's over. Motion Picture Association bubble thing is scrolling on the screen, and we're about to lose the music. And like I said, I hope you all had a fun and safe Halloween. Happy Halloween. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye.